What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode. Hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, and share the video. Hit the join button and become a member. Why? Well, members get exclusive content. Hit the bell icon on my channel so that you will receive a notification every time that I drop a video. You can go and like the video and leave a comment if you support me and support the content and support the channel. Excuse me, I want to thank everyone who left a comment with suggestions for my channel. I just changed the name to the channel. I just named it The Inside Story with Damian Porter. I came up with that myself, but I like so many of the suggestions. Immoral Acts, Damian Porter Chronicles, The Inside Perspective, Facts Over Fiction, Primetime Crime, Crime Time Live. You know, I wanted to start 10 different channels with these different names, man, but I can change the name twice every 14 days. I'm not sure I'm gonna stick with The Inside Story, but I just went with it for now because it covers a lot of different things. You know, I'm just going in. I started to go inside the story with Damian Porter, you know, but instead I just went The Inside Story for now. We'll see how that works out now. But I want to thank everyone. Y'all had some cold suggestions and gave me a lot to think about. And more than likely, I'm probably going to change the name again because it's not as catchy, you know. But I just wanted to change the name from the Prison Chronicles right away. So I just went with that for right now. But thank everyone for your support and your suggestions. Now, someone asked me to take the video a little fee down. Said, man, what are you doing, man? Take the video down. No. Someone else said that I should leave the topic of Lil Fee to the rolling 60s because I'm from Hoover. No. It's public information. I'm running a channel. It just so happens that Lil Fee is from 60s, bro. If he was a Blood, if he was a Crip, if he was a Hoover, everybody has done a story on it. White people have even done stories on it, on this situation, bro. Did y'all say anything to them? If it was my little brother, I would do the story. If it was this sort of story, this was a big event that happened in the culture, period. And me personally, I'm not going to protect anyone who unalives a child. I don't give a damn who it is, a 6-year-old. The hit was on a woman who was paralyzed. How they come up with a 6-year-old boy and a 13-year-old boy and a 59-year-old woman? Nobody in the house was paralyzed. Had you went into the right house, you're still there to take care of business on one person, on one woman. Why are you putting bullets inside the heads of 6-year-old kids? So I don't condone that. I do not subscribe to that sort of bestial behavior. And had it been a white man or a white woman that went in there and did the same thing to these little black kids, I would be outraged and incensed, calling for reparations. But since it's a black person, I'm supposed to be okay with it, or because it's Lil Fee, I don't give a damn who it is. I ain't with it. I don't agree with it. And so, no, I'm not going to take the video down. And no, I don't have the facts wrong either. Who gives a damn? Somebody said, well, Darren Williams he left out of the house and got in the car because he got scared. So, no, you got your facts wrong, bro. He was in the car and he almost left Lil Fee. Who gives a damn? Who left out of the house first? One thing that is factual, that is for sure, who gives a damn about the logistics of it, is that 4 people were unalived and that they went to death row for this shit. That's it. They admitted to it. Period. Damn how it all happened. So no, I'm not going to delete the video. And no, I'm not going to stop speaking on it. So I guess when I do a video on John Gotti, which I'm going to do soon, I got to worry about the mob being upset as well. I got to worry about them telling me not to speak on 8 people and to take the video down. Man, let come with me. Be ready. You come at me, be ready. Let come with me. I'm gonna run my content, and you motherfuckers get over it. All right, that's it, bro. So no, I will not be deleting the video. And in fact, let's get into part 2 of these bestial characters who likes to run around and unalive 6-year-old kids and then be protected and not be held accountable, which is why we can't get out of this rut that we're in now, because we don't hold each other accountable, and we don't hold the opposition, the real opposition, the government, accountable like they did on January 6th when they got upset. Something that we should have did a very long time ago. Should have been stormed the damn Capitol and demanded our rights, or else. Part 2. So, Lil Fee goes to James Kennedy, who he thought was his homeboy. Wonder where he was from, because he turned around and told on him when they arrested him for an unrelated charge. James Kennedy had held on, as I've said before, to the weapon. He didn't want to give it up. And so he turned the weapon over to the authorities. They ran ballistics and traced it back to Lil Fee. He also, told on Lil Fee, as did everyone else. They all turned him in. Now, they said, I don't know, that Lil Fee and Darren Williams had been on a binge the night before, had been up all night, using contraband. So they were tweaking or whatever. I don't know. This is how the story goes. And this perhaps also gave them the strength and the gall and the disregard for human life to go in here and do what they did. And they had a trial, and they all told on Lil Fee. They all admitted to their parts of the crime. And they were all convicted. Darren Williams got the death penalty along with Lil Fee. Darren Williams, subsequently, the death penalty was dropped on him and dropped down to life without parole for whatever reason. But they never dropped Lil Fee's death row conviction. He's still, from my understanding, on death row, Lil Fee. He's still on death row. This crime happened in August of 1984. And this is, of course, 40 years later. And from my understanding, he's still there. Now, the guy who I said had mentored him somewhat, someone said that he wasn't his mentor, that he played for another team. What the hell ever. Kermit Alexander, he knew Lil Fee. Whether he mentored him, talked to him, saw him from around the damn block. He knew Lil Fee as a child, as a kid, and said later on that Lil Fee was angry, was an angry child. So he knew enough of him to know this much, in his estimation, that he was an angry child. Lil Fee. This is what the ex-NFL football player Kermit Alexander later said. And when I said that their lives would be connected forever, it is because the home that Lil Fee and Darren Williams went into and unalived these innocent people was the home and the family of Kermit Alexander, the ex-NFL football player who knew Lil Fee as a child. It was his mother who was sitting in the kitchen drinking her cup of coffee when she was unalived. And that was his sister, Deidre Alexander, and his 2 nephews that were unalived in the home. And he eventually became a staunch proponent of the death penalty over this situation. And in fact, he sued the state of California because they had not carried out the death penalty on Lil Fee yet. Since they had not executed him yet, he sued the state of California saying, y'all taking too long to execute this man who executed my entire family. And so he's a staunch proponent of the death penalty, and he ended up adopting some Haitian kids or whatever, perhaps trying to fill the void of losing his entire family to this senseless, heinous crime against humanity. And Little Fee went on to death row. And there on death row, he remained active. And in fact, had got into it with one of the founders of the Crips, the legendary Stanley Tookie Williams, who was also there at the time on death row. This now was in 1988. And apparently, Tookie had approached Lil Fee and wanted him to unalive Darren Williams, his crimee, saying that he was a rat, that he liked cheese, that he was talking, and that had talked on the case. You know this, Lil Fee. Take care of this guy and get rid of him. Park him, slump him, unalive him. Lil Fee supposedly refused, didn't do it, whatever. They had words, they got into it, and Lil Fee came out and he hit Tookie with a blammer. He hit him, he went on the offensive, and he hit Tookie. And over this, they had a little war there on death row. The Crips did. Friendly fire. Crip on Crip fire over this situation. Of course, Tookie had his supporters and his soldiers, and apparently Lil Fee did as well. And they had a little war there on death row. Now, Lil Fee was able to survive, as far as I'm concerned, on death row because they allow a lot of these sorts of people to function and exist amongst them there on death row. Perhaps feeling like they're all condemned anyway. So what the hell? I don't know. But on the main line, as I've alluded to before, as I alluded to in the 8 rules to surviving in prison, if you come in there for a crime against a child, particularly for unaliving a child, you will be unalived yourself. Bottom line. So how he's been able to survive all of these years, I don't know. But if you hit a level 4 180 for this same crime, you're out of there. As you should be, regardless of who you are. So they had a little war there on death row. Do I sound a little pissed off? They had a little war there on death, protecting these child unalivers. Take the video down. I wish I would. So they had a little war there on death row. And he hit Tookie with the tool. And the war continued for a while. Then in 1998, some Bloods attacked Lil Fee. I don't know what the situation was over. There's supposedly 7 or 8 Bloods that attacked him. And then in the year 2000, Lil Fee and some dude named No-No and Roscoe in San Quentin took, I believe, a CO hostage and in a failed bungled escape attempt. Now, when they were caught after taking the CO hostage, after however long, when they gave it up and they gave the CO up and they were all rearrested and put in a hole, Roscoe supposedly said that it was never about an escape. They just wanted to see how many COs they could unalive. And also, Lil Fee there on death row then gave up his TV and all of his worldly possessions in his cell. He had nothing in there for years, not even, from my understanding, a mattress, according to the COs. He gave up everything as a form of protest, I suppose. No TV, no writing utensils, no canteen. They said he just kept the lights on in his cell all day and that he constantly exercised. But he had nothing inside of the cell. It was hollow, completely empty, not even a mattress. He just slept on the concrete inside of the cell. And this went on for years. just to give you a little insight into his thought process and into his soul. This is how he was doing his time. I don't know what's going on with him now and how he's doing his time now. I don't know. But this went on for some years there on death row. And that's what happened with this story. Those are the facts, people. That they entered the wrong home, that's certainly a fact. No woman in there was paralyzed. So it was the wrong home. It was the wrong people. They were ordered, had a paid hit out on one person, on one woman, this paralyzed woman who had been paralyzed there in the Vermont club. Yet somehow 4 people end up unalive, and she was never one of them. That's a fact. And that they all start snitching on each other, or they all snitched on Lil Fee, that's a fact. That they on death row for this, that's a fact. Who shot first and who got in the car first, I don't give a damn. You wasn't there and I wasn't either. Who cares? What did happen is that a 6-year-old boy came up and lost his life, as well as a 13-year-old boy and a 25-year-old young black woman and a 59-year-old older black lady who had done nothing to no one. That's what happened, whether you like it or not. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it and hide the facts to protect anyone, because again, had someone else did it from another race, I'd be calling for their very heads. But since it was a black person, I'm supposed to subscribe to it and be okay. Well, I am not. Stay free, people!